Tabletop was one of the shows that I thought of that kind of morphed a little. When I was putting together the slate for Geek and Sundry, you know, we were putting down shows that we definitely wanted to do to pitch. And I knew that I wanted to work with Will Wheaton. And I called him up and I said, well, do you want to do a show for us? And he's like, I don't know, what kind of show? I don't want to do just a plain vlogging show, that's the worst. And I was like, well, I'm doing one, but I'm gonna have fun with it. But I totally respect that because you gotta do what you love. And I pitched him the idea of doing a show about just being a dungeon master. So he would do like either D&D or just straight role-playing games where he was always DMing. And he was like, yeah, I don't know about that idea. I would rather do something about board games every episode. And I was like, oh, that's a better idea, actually, because every single episode, you know, if a viewer doesn't like one game or doesn't respond to it or gets confused by it, they'll have another game that next week to sort of learn about. And he got so passionate on the phone, you know, when we started like brainstorming about the show, I knew that it was like going to be a fit because I think especially on the web, you have to have a passion for what you're making versus like, I've been hired to do this and I don't, you know, it's not my passion, but they have to have somebody represent this show. So that's why I'm really, really especially proud of it because, you know, seeing the feedback on the show, it seems like not only are, you know, board game people feel like they're having a show that can represent them in a way, but there are plenty of people who don't play board games who are attracted to them. And I personally am not much of a board game player, or I wasn't. I played D&D. I've had many campaigns over the last 5 years. I played, like one of them was like 2 years long, so I do know how to play role-playing games, but to me, I never really played, you know, board games. But the cool thing is that through Tabletop, I was there on set the whole time producing, and I got to play. We did the day before we started shooting, we would do a playthrough for the camera crew to see how all the shows were, all the games were played, and I got to play all of them. So we sat there for like 10 hours and played through all 10 games, and I learned to not only, you know, love many of the games individually, but many of them, you know, just the idea of playing. And a lot of our camera people were like, hey, do you have an extra copy of this game? And these are people who had no geek background, no nothing, and they would take home games. They were like, well, I want that one. Oh, I want this one. The ones that I particularly responded to were, my two favorite were the co-op games. I loved Castle Panic, which I think is our next episode, and then also Pandemic. Those are my two favorite, and I noticed, of course, they're the co-op games, but in retrospect, I didn't realize that when I first saw it. I love co-op gaming in general, video gaming, so it's funny that I said that. And also, I played Elder Signs, which I'm actually in one of the games later this year for Elder Signs, and Alhambra. Those are the ones that I took home. But, you know, after we played through all of them, I was like, can I get a copy of all of them? I do produce the show. So, yeah, and there's, you know, me walking around now, like, not only do I see the games, identify the games that I know, oh, I know that game, oh, I know that game. But now I'm looking at the games in a different kind of way. Hey, this looks fun personally, but would this be good for the show? Like, is it one of those games that you can learn over the episode, or do you have to know a lot up front and all that stuff? So yeah, it's really fun to walk the floor and see all these games in a different light.